The sun rises over the industrial plant as the morning shift begins. Mark Reynolds, the shift supervisor, checks his clipboard. It's a routine maintenance day, and the task at hand is cleaning a storage tank that has accumulated chemical residue. Mark: "All right team, we've got a confined space entry today, tank 14. Joe and Ryan, you're up. Get it done fast and by the book." Standing next to him is Joe Carter, an experienced but overconfident technician in his mid-40s. He's been in the industry for 20 years, and his approach to safety has grown lax. Beside him is Ryan Lewis, a 24-year-old junior worker, eager to prove himself but unsure about the risks involved. "Ryan, should we test the air first?" Joe chuckles and waves his hand dismissively. "Joe, kid, I've done this 100 times. If you can breathe, you're fine. You'll see?" Mark hesitates, looking at his watch. He knows checking the oxygen levels and ensuring proper ventilation takes time. The plant manager is already pressuring him to finish before the next shift change. With a deep breath, Mark nods. "Mark, fine. Just don't take all day." Joe and Ryan grab their tools and descend into the storage tank without testing the atmosphere, without a proper entry permit, and without an emergency retrieval system. The clock starts ticking. Inside the tank, the air is thick and humid. The walls are coated with a slimy residue from years of chemical storage. Ryan notices a faint smell, something metallic and acrid, but before he can speak, Joe suddenly collapses. 1 second, he's standing, giving orders. The next, he's on the ground, gasping for breath. Ryan, panicking. "Joe? Joe! Wake up!" Ryan instinctively rushes forward, trying to shake Joe awake. His vision blurs. His chest feels tight, and his head spins. He gasps. His knees buckle. Outside, Mark checks his watch. 5 minutes have passed. "Mark, what's taking so long?" A sudden thud echoes from inside. A muffled cough follows, then silence. A fellow worker, Danny, hears the sound and rushes over. He peers into the tank, calling out, "Danny? Joe? Ryan?" No response. Without thinking, Danny jumps in. He doesn't have a harness. No breathing equipment. No backup team. Within seconds, his legs wobble. The world around him spins. He falls. Now, 3 men are unconscious inside. Outside, Mark senses something is wrong. He walks toward the tank, a growing knot forming in his stomach. As he nears, he sees Danny's boot sticking out of the entry hole, motionless. Mark's face goes pale. Mark, whispering to himself, "Oh no." Alarms blare. An emergency call goes out. Emergency responders arrive within minutes. Unlike the rushed decisions made earlier, they follow protocol. They test the air, finding low oxygen levels and high toxic gases. They equip themselves with SCBAs, self-contained breathing apparatuses. They use a proper retrieval system instead of blindly jumping in. One by one, they pull the unconscious workers out. Outside, paramedics immediately begin CPR on Joe. But it's too late. Ryan and Danny barely survive, suffering from severe oxygen deprivation. A week later, Joe's funeral takes place. His wife, Emily, clutches their baby daughter in her arms, staring blankly at the coffin. She isn't crying. She's too numb for that. Ryan, still in the hospital, watches the news report on his phone. He sees Joe's picture on the screen, followed by the words, "Worker dies in confined space incident, safety violations under investigation." Ryan closes his eyes, guilt consuming him. If only I had insisted on testing the air. If only I had spoken up. At the plant, the company issues a new confined space policy. A mandatory safety training session is held, and every worker is required to pass a confined space entry course before stepping into another tank. Mark stands before a group of workers, holding an air monitor. His voice trembles as he speaks. "Mark, this device could have saved Joe's life. Never skip safety steps. No shortcut is worth a life. Confined space entry is deadly if not done properly. Follow safety procedures. A shortcut today can cost a life tomorrow. Don't be the next victim. Follow safety rules. Every moment matters. Every choice counts." Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay safe. Hit like if you learned something new, subscribe for more safety insights, and turn on notifications so you never miss a life-saving tip. This is PRIMESHIELD, shielding lives, one story at a time.